And I was like, I'm about to faint. So all of a sudden, la charge nurse me presiona así. Así.
I just see like gushing así de sangre. I was like...
Hey guys, welcome back to a little piece of us.
So as promised, so today you're gonna get the tea. The showdown that went down during Caro's pregnancy.
Big showdown.
Big showdown.
Y mientras agarran el té, vamos a comer nosotros. Y aquí está la Bendy, dormida. What really happened in labor and delivery?
So the first one, babe, you wanna go through the first one?
Mm-hmm. Once I had my water broke, cuando se me rompió la fuente. It was Thursday before St. Patty's, y no sé si se acuerdan, pero estaba lloviendo bien fuerte. And there was a tornado warning. Yeah. Y había una ventana bien grande, right? So, todos los pacientes se tenían que salir del cuarto into the hallway away from the windows. So, ahí voy yo, parada, caminando, con contracciones, having to wait in the hallway, guys. Y me decían, ¿quieres sentarte? Y le decía, no, I just want to stand up. Como por unos 20 minutos.
Yeah.
So ya que pasó el tornado drill.
Que entró la doctora y te dijo, I didn't know you wanted to have a natural delivery.
I didn't know either. Me estuvieron preguntando, ¿quieres el epidural? Y yo dije, quiero aguantar un poco más, right? Pero ya no estaba aguantando, especially after that tornado drill. Luego me dicen, okay, we're gonna move you to a bigger room. Y dije, okay, pues... Está bien, you know, whatever. So nos dijeron, ¿quieres un wheelchair o quieres caminar? Está alrededor de la esquina. Comment below si saben qué ayuda con el hipo, porque mi hija nomás la descobijo un poquito y... We go into the new room, voy caminando con mi IV, mi palito, with the fluids and everything, Baldo ayudándome.
Todas las pinches maletas que llevamos.
Todas las maletas que llevábamos. Y ya entro al cuarto y está una tina. Like legit, like a jacuzzi looking. I was like... what do you think we're gonna do? Cuando dijeron natural birth, estaban pensando que quería dar luz en el agua, en la tina. And I was like, I didn't mean natural like that. I meant like unmedicated. So we got that squared away. El cuarto sí era más grande. That's when ella me empezó a explicar todo lo del epidural, porque como mencionamos, no estaba dilatando, okay? So it had been 16 hours and I was still at a, what? 1 or 3 centimeters, something like that. So she explained como el epidural me puede relajar y a mejor puedo progresar más rápido. Sure enough, dicho y hecho, así pasó. So when the doctor came in to give me the epidural, I was having contractions. Y estaba bien nerviosa, entonces dije yo, oh my God, ¿cómo lo voy a hacer during a contraction? No manches, me dieron 3 contractions while he was doing the injection. So la enfermera me tenía así, right?
Con la bola.
Con la almohada. Y yo pensé que iban a decir, okay, we'll wait till the contraction stop. No.
No mercy.
No mercy. And he was a lifesaver porque me dio esa inyección and adiós dolor. So by 3 o'clock, le digo a mi suegra, siento que ya quiero...
Que depende del baño, dice.
Que ya quiero darle, you know. Going back on some other birth vlogs, and there was one who had a very bad experience. Like, my heart is with her, you know. For you future moms out there, no dejen que se hagan so much cervix checks, porque corres el riesgo que te den una infección, Luckily, my nurse me dijo, no te quiero seguir chequeando porque puedes agarrar una infección. And then when I saw that other YouTuber's video, I was like, that's what she was talking about.
Sure.
Ya para las 3, it was go time. The doctor came in, the nurse came in, and I was ready to push.
That was right after this little clip que hice.
From 3 o'clock to 3:22, I was pushing. Sí pedí un espejo because I wanted to see everything down there. Y yo pensé que iba a ser un espejo chiquito. No, me trajeron...
Stand-up mirror.
It's like a stand-up mirror like this big. Estuve empujando y nomás me acuerdo que my OP me decía, I'm gonna massage your perineum. Something like that, okay? That way you don't tear as much. So while I was like in between pushes, ella me masajeaba esa área. So note to self, try to get, you know, as much help as you can. And then at one point vi el espejo y miraba la cabecita de Layla, just like right there. It was like right there, yeah, you could just see the hair. It's crazy, like nunca se me va a ir esa imagen de mi mente. Ya al último nomás oí mi suegra que me dijo, Caro, ya esta es la última, ahorita sale. Y allí ya no quise ver, because I was like, I could feel the pressure and a little bit of like burning. I don't know if that's a word, but you know, it wasn't as painful, pero sí sentía esa presión. So the last push, I just felt like she was like, watch my woo. But I felt that, so yeah, and ya me la pusieron en el pecho. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't cry. Bando no lloró.
No, I didn't cry. I was excited.
It was more like, oh my God, she's here. Like, finally la tengo aquí. Like, I don't know, era una emoción. I can't even explain it, babe. Like, I guess I was just so anxious of, okay, what's gonna happen? How's it gonna happen? That when it finally happened, I was like, gracias a Dios, todo bien. Pero that's when the shit show started.
Ahora sí, ya se está, we're hitting the climax of the story.
So it took me 22 minutes to deliver. I started at 3 a.m. Baby girl nació a las 3:22. So
ya cuando salió Leila, they delivered the placenta like a little bit afterwards. Y le digo a la doctora, le digo, oh, I'm just curious. Y luego me puse a ver. So she was like showing me like the placenta y la volteó inside out. So I don't know, it was pretty interesting. Ya puso la placenta like back on the little platter donde la tenía. Y she kind of made like a heart with the umbilical cord.
And no, I did not encapsulate my placenta o no me la comí, nada de eso. So, in case for those who are asking.
I should have just given it to you and started so you can start like munching on it ahí.
Taquito de barbacoa.
Ya entró la nurse, la que iba a checar a Leila. Le dijo, Caro, oh, I'm gonna take her over here. Y ya se la llevó. Y le estaba checando el oxígeno. I don't know what was going on with the machine because I could tell that something was wrong with the machine, que no estaba leyendo el oxígeno bien because it would pop up and then it would shut down. And then Leila estaba así como grunting. So no estaba llorando. She wasn't like, ah. She was like, ah. So the oxygen was reading like 80 something, you know, 70 something. So I was like, obviously that's not good, you know. She went over there and she called someone on the phone or something. I was calm during that moment, but la estoy viendo and I was like, in my mind I was like, are you gonna do something or are you just gonna stand there or whatever? De ahí I just hear Caro in the background.
I was like, babe, she's not crying, is she okay?
Okay, and I'm like, yeah, babe, she's doing fine, like don't worry about it.
And then while they're doing that, mi doctora me está sewing up porque sí se tear, very minimal. And I could feel that. I could feel her like sewing me up, y'all. And I guess the epidural had wore off because she was like, can you feel that? And I was like, yeah, like I could feel every time like she would like swoop it in like that. Oh my God, it wasn't like, ah, but I could feel it. Okay, so just imagine if I didn't have an epidural, Lord forbid.
A little bit after that, entra los de NICU, like the nurses from the NICU. And then le pusieron oxygen mask. Le pusieron el oxygen mask y ya la tienen. So I'm like, obviously, like she's not right. And she's not okay. She's like, si tuvieron que venir los de NICU. Nos dijeron que había respirado amniotic fluid. So they get some suctioning tool y se lo meten, you know, le están like flushing out y luego le ponen oxígeno and they're just going back and forth. And I'm like, what the fuck? Y lo Caro, is she okay, babe? I'm like, yeah, babe, she's okay.
To not freak me out, obviously.
After a while, luckily, yeah, everything was stable. So they're like, oh, she's doing great and blah, blah, blah. Y ya, se fueron. So I was like, oh, okay, perfect. So now, the nurse grabs Leila, ya que estaba stabilized, y ella la lleva con Caro. So ya se la da Caro y...
Obviously, hacen skin to skin. So they put her on me para tratar que haga latch. Sí lo hizo, pero lo malo es que yo no estaba produciendo. So la enfermera me empezó a masajear y me dolía, you know, but yo no decía nada porque dije, pues es para mi bebé. So it was really painful just because of other health issues that I have. It got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm getting emotional. It got to a point where I was like, I feel like I'm about to faint. And all of a sudden, I just heard like ringing in my ears. Oh, I can't.
Emotional. I'll give you a second, deja. So meanwhile, that was going on. Mi suegra estaba ahí, pero se tuvo que ir because she had to work. So me dijo, cualquier cosa me habla. So no había tenido chance de hablarle durante ninguno de ese tiempo cuando nació Leila because of all that was going on. So en ese momento ya cuando le hicieron stabilize y que ya empezó el breastfeeding, whatever, yo estaba ya hablándole like a mi suegra, y suegra ya nació, y blah blah blah. So all of a sudden, in the background, I just hear Caro saying like, oh, my ears are ringing. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. So I'm like in the phone, le digo, suegra, le digo, déjeme le hablo para atrás de suegra, y ya le colgué. So I rush over there and Caro's like, I don't know, she just had this face like she was like in the Get Out movie, así nomás.
y había un monitor que tenía my blood pressure. And I looked over y nomás me acuerdo viendo, I saw 50 for sure. And so they grabbed Layla from me.
Me la pasaron a mí.
Se la dieron a Valdo and that's when I was already like, me están preguntando, are you okay? What do you feel? Y esto, lo otro. And I was like, I'm about to faint. So all the nurses came in and they're like, no le des ese medicamento. Necesitamos estabilizar su presión. So I remember they're like, we're going to give you an injection. I think it was called Methergin to raise the blood pressure. So me la dieron en mi pierna. Y luego aparte me dieron medicamento oral. After they gave me the injection and that medication, empecé a shake. Like I just started shaking. And I was like, I'm really, really cold. Like I need more covers. Así entre lo que podía, right?
I don't know if you remember, pero yo estaba enseguida de tu cabeza. I had the baby in one arm y lo otro estaba, babe, it's okay.
Yeah, me decía Valdo,
no te duermes, no te duermes, like, look at me.
And I would look at him y le decía, babe, I'm sleepy, like, I want to sleep. And he was like, don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep. I ended up getting a fever, I think it was like above 100 or 101, algo así. All of the nurses were in there, including the charge nurse. And all of a sudden, la charge nurse...
Y estaba gordita,
me presiona así, like, I'm talking about hard on my abdominal area. Nomás sentí algo gush out de allá abajo. So in that point me dio una hemorragia. So I had a hemorrhage.
Yo estaba en Caro's left side, así como estoy ahorita. So I just looked down y cuando le estaban haciendo así, boom, because they went hard. Like I just see like, like three or four times, like gushing así de sangre. I was like, what the fuck?
Y luego entró mi doctora, me chequeó, dijo, oh yeah, no había salido todo lo que tenía que salir. So I think everything se estaba coagulando.
Yeah, it was.
En la matriz.
And she was bleeding. I guess a little bit of internal bleeding.
Oh,
more
yeah.
than normal.
Yeah, es lo que me dijo la doctora. So otra vez me hizo un cervix check and that was a little like, oh, I can feel that, you know? Y eso que todavía tenía un poco del epidural, so just keep in mind how painful that would have been. Y ella me dijo, everything you went through, if you wouldn't have had the epidural, you probably wouldn't have handled it. So they got me stabilized y ya me trajeron like 3 or 4 cobijas. Y me hablaba la enfermera, but I was just dozing off. I was like, I can't. And I just remember Valdo telling me, don't go to sleep, babe, don't go to sleep. I was like, bro, I'm sleepy, like.
That's the reason why in this scene right here, nomás se escuchaba in the background, beep, 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 beep. Ya no había nadie en el cuarto, like everyone left. Nomás estaba Caro ahí así dormida, like.
Yeah, I was in pain.
So that was the reason why, like, I was the only one awake con Layla. And I, como pude agarrar la camera and I was just like, y'all hit the climax. Y'all like that? You like the drama? Y'all like that drama? Que Rosa de Guadalupe ni que nada.
So finally I'm stabilized. Ya me estabilizaron. Estoy descansando. And they're like, okay, you're cleared to go to postpartum. And I was like, otra vez me van a mover. Keep in mind, estoy sangrando de abajo, right? So I was like, si me paro, se me va a salir todo. So me tuvieron que traer un like pamper or whatever. And they're like, okay, tienes que llevarte a la niña. And I was like, girl.
Caro le decía, my husband can't take her. He said, no, like it has to be you.
And so they're like, let's get you a wheelchair. And so me la pusieron en mis brazos, right? And all of a sudden me empecé a sentir otra vez así. And I was like, I can't do it. No me la puedo llevar. Like, I feel que I'm gonna drop her. They're like, you have to push through it porque ella no puede salir de este cuarto si no están tus brazos. I don't know de dónde saqué el poder, la energía.
El fuá.
Pusieron a mi niña aquí.
Bro, yo no estaba así como en watch. Y dije, ahorita que la caiga la chingada, la va a tirar como tiraron a Caro. That's why she turned out this way.
Yeah, my dad did drop me. Funny story, fun fact. My dad me dejó caer when I was a baby. So yeah, they're wheeling me out. We get into the elevator and I was just like, keep going, Caro, keep going. Like, you can do it, right? Ya llegamos a postpartum. La tomaron because I was like, can someone get her? I feel really weak. Me pusieron en la cama y otra vez mi presión se bajó. So otra vez me tuvieron que dar medicamento. Yeah. I started shaking, getting cold, me dio fiebre. So they gave me 2 types of antibiotics via IV. It got to a point where el IV ya no estaba funcionando. I would feel it like around it. And I was like, babe, esto se está inflamando. And that's when he was like, call the nurse. And sure enough, ya no estaba funcionando.
Que ya estaba cerrada.
So, note to self, when you feel like something's wrong, speak up. Don't hesitate, speak up. And they were like, te vamos a estar monitoreando y te vamos a hacer labs. Come to find out, my blood count was low.
If I'm not mistaken, like I think it was 1.2 liters of blood that she had lost. So había dicho a la nurse, he's like, 1, you're gonna need a blood transfusion porque perdiste mucha sangre, or 2, te vamos a dar un iron supplement through IV.
Pero antes de eso, I don't want the IV anymore because I was trying to breastfeed. It was in the way.
No, sí.
It was hard to be able to be there for her. And I think eso es lo que me frustraba más porque le trataba de dar de comer o quería ir al baño y tenía el pinche palo ese.
This is how bad she was feeling, I guess, because of everything that had gone. Like, porque yo era el que estaba cuidando a Leila y dándole de comer o cambiándola o whatever. Y Caro me decía like, babe, I'm sorry, I can't be there for her, I'm sorry. It's okay, Ligo, I got you, that's why we're a team. That's how bad she was feeling, like, not only like physically, but emotionally también.
The IV closed up. I opted out not to continue with antibiotics porque nomás faltaba poquito. So me sacaron el IV and they're like, keep in mind that if you have to get a blood transfusion or the IV therapy, we're gonna have to put it in again. And so when they took it off, I was able to shower, I was able to hold my baby. So yeah, that was that. Next day, the doctor comes in and they're like, yeah, your blood count's low. Luckily, no está tan baja where we had to do a blood transfusion. So te vamos a hacer un iron IV therapy. And I was like, well, how long does that take? She was like, 2 hours. And I was like, ugh. Took maybe like 3 hours or so, right, babe?
Yeah, sí duró bastante.
Yeah, y eso fue el domingo en la mañana. And they're like, cuando termines esto, you'll be able to get to go home. And I was like,
yeah. Pero quiere más. There's still some more, guys.
There's still some
so
more.
Stay tuned. So we get home. Y ya estamos organizando todo. Tell me why Caro tenía los pies así inflados. Parecían como ese globo que está ahí. Así estuvo Caro como por 3 días.
No lie, guys. Even con compression socks no se me bajaba lo hinchado. Pero me dijeron que era normal. So I was like, okay, I trust my doctors.
Ya cuando dijimos, oh, everything's great.
They're like, psych, bitch. So me dio fiebre. Out of nowhere.
Randomly out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. I went to go see the doctor. Oh yeah, me tuve que ir sola because we didn't want to take the baby out again, you know. Me dijo que a veces te da fiebre when you're breastfeeding or breast pumping, whatever. And it's just kind of random. It'll go, come back, and then just be gone. Me dijo que tomara Tylenol. Sí me recetó antibióticos, pero dijo just take them if it continues.
In case it was an infection, I guess.
Exactly. And during that time, otra vez emocionalmente me decaí because I was like, when am I gonna get better? Like, I need to be there for my daughter, right? And for my husband. Here,
go
ahead, baby, go ahead. We got squared away from there. And then...
So one of the things with the iron supplement is que te estriñe.
Constipation.
Le dijo la doctor, tómate stool softeners or whatever, so... I guess they weren't helping that much, so Caro and I decided, we're like, oh babe, well, why don't you take like a laxative or whatever. So vamos a la tienda, we came across this thing right here, Miralax.
He said this thing.
Tómatelo en la mañana para que te andes cagando todo el día en una noche or whatever.
So I take it and I was like, this kind of tastes weird. You know, it didn't taste like anything, but I was like. So lo tomé, comí. Me senté con la baby, otra vez tenía the baby in my hands, and all of a sudden I felt like I needed to cough. I was like, and I just started feeling hot, and I was like, babe, ¿estoy roja? And he was on the phone. He was like, yeah, babe, you're red. So I get up and I look in the mirror. My face was so flushed, it wasn't even funny. Like I was so red, my eyes were watery. And then all of a sudden, I told Valo, I was like, babe, I'm cold.
Yo pensé que eran like hot flashes. Porque dicen que cuando your hormones are out of balance, so you get hot flashes. So I was like, oh babe, maybe it's just a hot flash.
It was more than a hot flash. And so I was like, I'm cold, babe. So yeah, I go to lay down. Me chequeé la temperatura, Valdo. It's like 96, 98. It was stable. And I just started shaking. I was like shaking. I was like, babe, I'm so cold. Here's a baby.
Saluda. Pinche saluda, yo quiero comer. Allá le dieron el chupón, so don't judge us.
Ya se lo habían dado. Entró un día and I was like, why is that pacifier in my baby's thing? And they're like, oh yeah, we gave it to her last night. I was like, she took it? They're like, yeah. I was like, great. So I'm shaking. I told Valdo, I was like, babe, I'm cold. He has a baby. He's getting me like 2 blankets. 3 blankets.
You're like 3 blankets.
So I was like, check my temp. Y otra vez, 98. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And he was like, should I call the ambulance? I was like, no, I don't want to go back to the hospital. And I start crying. I was like, I don't want to go back.
That one was stressful, guys. Like, not only for Caro, pero I wasn't going through it, pero Caro está allá en la cama and she's crying, babe, like, I don't know what's going on, babe, crying. Luego yo tratando de taparla. Then you have Layla over here crying porque tenía hambre and she's like crying. So I'm like just looking like this. I'm like, I don't know what to do. What do y'all want from me?
And then he was dealing with some stuff también over the phone.
Oh, over the phone también. Estaba en el phone. Like, so I was like, bro, like, what's like 3? I got 3 in 1.
That's when the fever came on. And it was like 101. I think it got to 102 at one point. And I was like, oh my God, here we go again. So I was like, call the doctor, babe. Like, I don't want to go back to a hospital, but call the doctor. Ya habló con la doctora. I couldn't talk. I just couldn't talk. Valdo le dijo lo que tomé. So more of the story is I had a bad reaction to Miralax. Whatever's in that shit, my body didn't take it. And I'm never taking it again. Sticking to prune juice and fiber and all that. So la doctora me dijo, have her take some Tylenol. Dijo, did y'all get the antibiotics?
Oh,
yes, we did pick them up. I just didn't take them porque no seguí con fiebre. And they're like, okay, go ahead and start them. But I think it's a bad reaction to Miralax that she had.
You were just gonna have to get out of her system, so have her drink electrolytes and have her drink a little bit of caffeine.
Yeah.
Headache, porque tenía un headache también.
A throbbing headache out of nowhere, guys. Que me dio the Miralax.
We did what the doctor said. Y ya poco a poco she was like, okay, I feel better. Y así poquito a poquito.
Trust me, I felt like that too, babe. Because I was like, I don't want to go back. This is what happened during labor and delivery and postpartum. It was a lot, guys. Y por eso estamos MIA también for 2 weeks. Porque, claro, estamos pasando tiempo con nuestra hija. Pero tratando de recuperar from everything, really. From sleep.
Oh yeah, the sleep part. So that's gonna be another video, I guess, pero yeah, trying to recover from the sleep and everything that was going on. I don't know about Caro, pero ya tenemos PTSD, or at least from like, cause ya cuando se curó después de eso del allergic reaction to the Miralax, like I always feel like, okay, like something's gonna come on, like ahora que like, so every little thing, like como Layla que llora or something, I'm like, oh shit, something's going on, like.
And the reason why I got emotional was because it was a little traumatic for me, simply porque 1, me dio una hemorragia, right? 2, no podía estar allí con ella. 3, ella también se puso mala, you know? 4, I couldn't be there for my husband. My husband had to take care of everything. Labor and delivery was traumatic to me because it's just like, nunca sabes lo que puede pasar. Y la doctora me dijo, si deciden tener más hijos, corres riesgo que te dé otra hemorragia. Just because of your health issues and also because of what you've already been through. So I told Valdo, I was like, dang, do I really want to go through that?
We still need to talk about it, pero I guess now we're prepared, you know? In case of anything, now we know all the things that can go wrong.
Que hacer y eso otro. Thank you to our clinical team, nuestra doctora, las enfermeras. Gracias a Dios que sí tuvimos un cuidado excepcional. This is our story. This is not to scare anyone. This is my story. Y nomás lo quería compartir con ustedes to let y'all know, like, when a woman is giving birth, it's serious. Like, you don't underestimate any of that.
A lot of people say, pues yo tuve mi hijo y it was okay, pero I mean, gracias a Dios que les fue bien a otras personas, you know, pero it was different with Caro, you know, so everything is different, so no puedes comparar, I guess, oh, yo tuve un parto bien, no, pues sí, pero no puedes compararlo con alguien más, like, for example, in our case.
Or I didn't get the epidural, and I was like, shout out to you, you know. With me, it would have been different if I would have already went in dilated, if I would have already went in with some form of contraction. I didn't have any of that. So it was like legit starting from nothing. Thankfully, mi chiquita nació bien, está bien, le gusta comer mucho.
Le gusta Churrarse mucho.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
And we'll see you next time.
Bringing a little piece of us.
Ay, ¿no te quieres despedir?
You don't want to say bye, mama? Bring a little piece of us.
To you.
See y'all.
See ya.
Milk wasted.
That's what I think.
Bajo la luna me convierto